lose yet again. But okay, let's see.
We're starting here. Should be the start.
Toasted being a bit calm, but definitely testing the defense a little bit too. Not getting too close. Gotta watch the stamina though.
Yeah, it's really stamina intensive movement.
And Eve's just okay.
That's a brutal one.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you thrusted me. Now I will show you how to thrust."
Yeah, with a little bigger sword, thicker a little bit. Definitely would hurt and end the fight like to the chest with a sword like this. With a little bit of twist and another point.
I think Eve maybe just wants to try his calc against specifically Toasted.
Yeah. Well, Toasted is a very tough opponent, like so.
That forward B from left leg forward is really good move for Zera actually. It covers a lot of ground, it can hit under the guard, and you can continue it as a combo into thrust as well. It's really one of the best moves, I think, for him.
Yeah. I thought Toasted had him there, but he was too far, and Eve just clipped him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something wrong maybe?
Yep. Press
I think
he's being lagging.
Okay. I think he's being defensive. Toasted does that sometimes, but then he suddenly pounces.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's his style, I agree. Yep. Calm before the storm.
Yeah.
But I think we actually see a lot of storm from Toasted today.
Yeah, it's fair. He wants to close down that broadsword, I guess.
And beautiful.
Oh, double.
Yeah. I love that attack when he just combination very big.
I missed.
Yeah, it was a bit odd because the cut didn't seem to reach as far as it could have. I don't know. It should have probably hit the blade at the very least.
Yeah. Oh, I want more moves from high guard for Zera. Just wow.
Slow move.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's tired. Will he take the... Okay.
Perfect.
He goes for a safer option. That's good.
He switched the legs, and that's why he used left attack, which is slower, and yeah, he pressed forward, that's why it was such a slow animation. If he just used neutral attack, it wouldn't be as slow. Some caution now. Calm.
Very calm. Nobody wants to do mistake.
Yeah. It's a 2/ combo.
Wow. In the wrong moment.
Yeah, I guess he's expecting those rushes now.
Yeah, Eve is a very patient guy, so they don't necessarily work. Oh, that point seemed to bounce off the arm, but never mind. It was a little stab anyway.
I tried my Isabella against Steve for 2 games in Pride League, and it's really hard to approach him. He's really good with defensive calc. And Zera just provides like enough reach advantage and some good attacks to cover the distance.
Ooh.
And actually
Good
Toasted
aggression.
Guys.
Oh, that was close.
So, Toast, tell me if it's good enough for you quality-wise. Like, do you want to continue on my host or do you want to switch to Sulu's?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Good connection. Alright, so we continue.
Alright. Yeah, you seemed
Let's go.
like you were in good shape, so it's good to hear.
What's the score? It's 1-0 for ToastedBread match, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm surprised that he was sticking with his calc. I think he would do better with Gideon, definitely.
I don't know. Gideon does have like a short reach and a bad defense, so it might be calculated more from Eve.
That's the thing, yeah. His thrust was nerfed, but still he's faster. Like he can move around the field faster. That's the thing.
Yeah, and he's better in the pocket. Yeah.
Oh,
Getting
maybe
to the
he
pocket is
wants to try some different
issue.
things with Hulk. I don't know.
Yeah, Kalk does have a more solid defense. Well, as I say that,
Yes.
It was after an attack, so
I think he was long guarding, but yeah.
yeah, after attack you're invincible for some time. And
Oh.
nice one.
Bad time to dash. Yeah, like I was talking a few times already. You think that blade length between Jara's weapon and Isabella's weapon is the same, right? But due
Oh,
to
that
Zara
was
like
right on the neck.
lunging forward with his body, just he has more forward momentum, so he reaches farther than Isabella, I think.
Yeah,
I just
I
rewatched
agree.
replay and ToastedBread definitely had like his blade on Eve's neck and
Yeah.
yeah, probably. I'm
It's
gonna
the
take
type of cuts
I'm
he
gonna
does,
take a
yeah.
shot. I'm gonna take
Towers
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Oh, that
yeah.
hit is.
It was a parry, but literally, visually, the blade was cut in the neck, but no.
Did Kubel somehow make the hit detection for Zara worse? Because that was not like with the area of the blade close to the guard. That was, you know, a bit further out. So that should have.
Yeah, I think Cobalt Magic is still happening from time to time. Like I was talking earlier to Vinu before you joined that today I used sidestep attack to the left, where Jera uses a horizontal cut to the left, and then he switches into diagonal cut from high left. So I hit the Kalk's torso from the back. No block, no blocking sound, and no collision.
Yeah.
No damage detection. Nothing.
Yeah, like there are certain cases where like it's like the very back of the blade, so maybe it wouldn't really register much, but now I'm seeing a lot more like convincing hits with Zero not
Yeah.
doing
Exactly.
anything. So it's weird. It's like a reverse of what it used to be.
Yeah. I think when Cobalt really gets to fixing the balance, like adjusting physics, we can go all in on this stuff.
Yeah. Thankfully, the sabers seem well balanced though. Like my fight with Luck was, I didn't really see a whole lot of issues. You know.
That's the issue with sabers. Like I was talking earlier as well, the balance is really good for them. All the collisions, like different characters. Game initially was designed for saber duels, you know, yeah?
Yeah.
So,
one thing like I noticed in like testing like different attacks in Hellish Quart that like sometimes they don't work in a first attempt, but then they work in second and third. Like the game did not understand it first time, but then it kind of recalculates and starts understanding it sometimes. So
Yeah.
well, it's non-deterministic, you know, yeah? So, even if literally calculation for both sides are the same, the result may still differ.
and enjoy your meal, Master Cake, and no need for hand protection if you don't have a hand from Starlight. Definitely.
Okay, I
enough.
think something started to work better for him. He found some moves that are working better against Jera.
Rushing in, but then the retreat cut. It's something Toasted really likes doing. It's like you think he's moving in, and sometimes he does just attack you. That's why it's challenging, because it's like, is he gonna attack you, or is he gonna back away and try and sniping to punish your riposte? You know?
That's a really good move, you know. I do it a lot myself. Like, you are slow if you just move around, but you can dash. His dash is pretty good, so you're getting closer, and then you are doing his really powerful retreat cut.
Very fast.
Also,
instant.
I tried different ones, like not only this one, Y button, I also like doing back X, just to get a different angle, and if your opponent just not stays still and tries to outstretch his arm to hit you with something, usually back X is even better. It goes around your opponent's blade and just cuts off the arm.
Yeah, very strong attack. But Eve gets it and it's 1-1.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking about pitching again to the mods about Saber only counting for a regular title, you know? Just because of how balanced it is right now. It just feels like it's the best display of skill.
I agree.
Definitely.
Like, it's the most balanced, like, and junkless competition, and you have like the most character variations. So yeah.
Well, especially if the new one is coming out. Like,
Okay, Smog actually has a question for Tao. I'm gonna read it out. Tao, what do you mean non-deterministic? That HQ is truly random, or that there's too many factors at play to fully predict what an action will do?
Okay, first point. I'm not specialist in Unity physics, so I can't do a detailed explanation. But the information that I said is literally coming from description of Unity physics engine. So all the and Kubelt confirmed it as well. So all the simulations are not
Can we get the
really
green map?
deterministic. That's
Can we get the green map? No, too slow.
that's just how. That's just how Unity physics engine works. So, two simulations, even with all the inputs being the same, all the parameters, like anything you can really change, even if it's all the same, the result may not be the same. Like, it's not some special inbuilt randomization. No, there is no such a thing. But I'm not specialist good enough to, describe why it's like that. But I can be pretty certain and sure that that's how just the engine works. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it's in perfection. Maybe it's meant to be like that. Maybe it's just an ability of Unity specialists to make it like 100% deterministic. Or maybe even there is a newer version which our game is not using. Because I think like a year ago or so, Kubelt said that he won't be switching to a new Unity version because it's full of bugs or something. So that's what you have.
oh, it's quite a combo
So-
there, and Toast is tired.
Short version is that it's not that our game is made random on purpose. It's just that how Unity physics work.
Like, one time I thought this game just does like 50-50, It just makes like one side wins 50% of the time. But I was just completely like thinking random thoughts, because sometimes it would like feel after like many games that it kind of balances out at 50-50. And you like got a little bit suspicious with it, but no, it's just random chances, and this game is just one hit away and you're dead, so there's many factors in play.
Yeah. I guess that kind of does add an element of realism. I mean, real life can sometimes seem that way, just like,
Yeah.
if you could get two swordsmen together and somehow get them to fight to the death over and over again, I'm sure you'd see some different stuff happening, even if they're doing similar things. I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
might
agree.
even out eventually, like go to 50-50.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but, there is an element of that in real life, too, so.
All I want is just like if I see something happening, it should happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, definitely,
If you hit, you should deal damage, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never nice when you see somebody's head being cut by your sword and it just bounces off and you get killed.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, it's where it is, and it gets better sometimes. Saber fights, that's it.
Okay, so maybe Eve did figure
And
something out.
You're doing well, real well. So it's
Yeah.
2-1, right? Or is GG?
2-1 now, yes.
Okay.
Yep. He was finding
I
the
think-
angles.
Yeah, also I think he started playing more aggressively, like especially when he was facing my Jera, before the main USFC event, he was more of a defensive calc, right? I was pressuring most of the time. Yeah, of course, sometimes different stuff happened, but that was just the general line of events. And yeah, I think he started to attack Toasted more, rushing forward more, and he had some success with those attacks.
Yandere, that's a risk. I think he's played him before, but I feel like Eve is gonna have an advantage here. I guess you never know if Yendrick, though. He's a bit of a wild card.
Well, managing your distance is really super important for Yendrick. Like, it actually means will you hit with the handle or will you hit with the head, or maybe you will whiff at all. So it's really important not to whiff because you are wasting your stamina. Just with 3 or 4 whiffs you have no stamina at all.
Yep.
So usually it's better just to feint and not to whiff, just like here.
Yeah, he's got brute force at least. I feel like if you're playing him right, maybe you'll get something done, but equally, it kind of goes both ways. Yeah, Eve can also hit Toasted really easily, so...
Yeah. That's why it's important to really, like, measure the distance, to land exactly those attacks that usually go around the guard. But it's really super important for you to hit and not to whiff. Yeah, like, see? If you whiff and he can't attack anymore, right? I even call this a lucky double because he was so close to being out of stamina already.
Yeah. And there was a leg hit too.
Oh. I think Toast needs to use forward A and forward X more. They are really fast attacks. Like dash forward, use forward A.
Thought the axe was hitting the arm. Okay, that was a hit though, for sure. Yeah. There's no debate about that one.
Yeah, definitely a good one. But usually to like do a quick initiation, forward A is really good. It's fast.
Nice. It's actually an even fight now.
Yep.
Oh, some head bobbing, some dashing.
Flags. Yeah. Feint, don't whiff, feint.
Stamina, you can already see it. Oh. Long guard is good to defend those stabs, actually, and some of the cuts if you catch it right, but it kind of limits your options with Yendrick.
Oh. He had such a great opportunity, but cancelled the attack.
Oh. That cancel might have saved him. Toasted barely hanging in there. You can tell he's kind of struggling.
Yeah.
That's why he's throwing all these attacks.
Nice.
He got it though.
Also, like if you compare auto guard and long guard, it's more favorable to face someone thrusting at you as Yendrick. You know, your long guard is better defense than your bolt auto guard.
Yeah, it's a better defensive stance, and if you know how to use it right, it can be useful too. Just less attacking options, that's the main issue.
Yeah. Can't really launch something fast. Yeah. Oh, the ball's tired.
Gotta be careful even with the feints when you're that low in stamina.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, tension, tension.
Oh.
No, don't whiff. Actually, yeah, pendulum is a good option. Ah.
Oh.
Forward A.